Rigor here, Rigor's Garage and Boat Basin. Welcome back. Today we're doing episode 7. We're fixing some of the trim on the 1986 Baja Sunsport 190. Some of the trim pieces, they're like padded parts that go alongside the gunnel of the boat and in the nose of the bayliner. Some of those presented a challenge because the wood backing was exceptionally rotted, and I had to use templates. Of course, we got airplanes again. There we go. I had to create templates and do some smoothing on the patterns on the pieces that I was recreating. In this episode, I'm going to go over a couple of the pieces that I recreated and show you the methodology I used. Welcome back, and thanks for watching.
Now this first piece, this is basically a typical piece. This is the cover at the very nose where normally you'd keep the anchor. And the wood was rotted out, and I mean, I've gone over these before with some of the hatches and things, and basically all I did was pry off the upholstery cover, otherwise take the staples out, take it out, make new piece of wood, cover the wood with resin. I made it out of plywood, and then staple the black bottom covering, put the foam back, glue it to the plywood, and then staple the upholstery back on. This is fairly straightforward, and this is most of what I found in the boat. Now this piece presented a different problem. The wood was so deteriorated. Basically, I laid it on a sheet of plywood and kind of traced the outline of the upholstery on the plywood. And then I removed the upholstery. I mean, to some degree, the plywood turned into a pile of chips. That's all there was. Just a pile of chips. And then I used the template that I'd made for the plywood, and I would use a thin piece of wood where I would bend it over. Basically, I'd make it into the arc, which is very close to the template that I had on the plywood, and I would bend it so that it was close, and then I would use that to smooth the shape of the plywood. I would then cut it out, and I would take it to the boat. And if you'll notice inside the boat, usually there's a little bit of fading of the gel coat, and where the upholstery's at, it doesn't fade quite as much, so there's an outline of the piece. I would lay the plywood over the faded part of the gel coat and get the exact right length and the exact shape. I would do some smoothing, some sanding, and then once I had the new piece, I would take and resin coat it, glue the foam to the plywood piece, and then staple the upholstery back on. Now, other parts of the trim were far easier. For example, along the gunnel, by the passenger seat, or towards the back seat. These were relatively straight. Again, it's just pry the upholstery off, make a piece, cut new plywood, coat it in resin, glue the foam to it, and then put the upholstery back on. Now, if you notice, the screw holes usually fit kind of in the same place, and so you can use a drill bit. I use one just a little bit large, and I drilled through the original holes in the upholstery, and in most cases I came out close enough where the screws would just go in to the original holes inside of the boat. This pretty much goes over how I recreated the trim pieces on the Baja, and I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you liked it, please hit the like button and feel free to subscribe. Thanks. Have a nice day.